Hey everyone, welcome back to Melissa's Kitchen Table and another week of What's for Dinner. Today is Monday night. I forgot to film Sunday dinner, but it was just, we did corned beef, cabbage, potatoes, and carrots, which I have an Instant Pot video for that. I will link down below in case you want to see how to make it. Tonight we made the chicken shawarma thighs that we always get from Trader Joe's. We love them. We just grilled them. I did some rice in the Instant Pot. It was just 1 cup of white rice. And hang on. And I used some of this vegan chickenless seasoning salt. And I think that's all I used in that. I did that for 4 minutes in the Instant Pot. And then I just sauteed some onions and zucchini over here. And to season that, I used some of the mushroom seasoning and this Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. So I don't use a lot of this. It tastes very good. We like it, but I choke anytime I cook with that, like really bad. So yeah, we have a ton of stuff here. Usually there's like 4 chicken thighs, but these were like huge and there was 3 in this package. If you ever do go to Trader Joe's, I definitely recommend getting these. Sometimes we make tacos with them. Sometimes I'll do a rice bowl with peppers. That's really good. So anyways, that is what's for dinner Monday night. Hey everyone, welcome back to another night of what's for dinner. Today's Tuesday. And I wasn't going to record this because it's not dinner, but I just figured it would be like a little bonus video for dessert. I'm going to be making a lemon pudding or a lemon custard pudding, whatever you want to call it. I had 2 lemons that were going to go bad, and I wasn't sure what to do with them. And so this is what I'm making. So you're going to need, well, I'll tell you the ingredients first. So it's 2.5 cups of milk, the zest of 1 to 2 lemons. I used 2 because that's what I had. 3 egg yolks, 3/4 of a cup of sugar, a 1/4 cup of cornstarch, a 1/2 cup of fresh lemon juice, 2 tablespoons of butter. So in the pot, I have the sugar, the cornstarch, and the milk. Oh, and a pinch of salt, sorry. And I'm just going to do this over a medium heat. Keep whisking until, don't want it to boil because then you'll scald the milk and you don't want that. So you just want it to, it's a long process. It's, not hours, but it's about 10-15 minutes, I would say, to do this. And then once this thickens, you're going to put 2 tablespoons of butter and the lemon juice. Once this thickens a little bit more than this, you add the egg yolks. You can temper them. Over here I have my 3 egg yolks. Here are my egg whites. I'm going to keep those for the chicken for dinner because I'm going to bread our chicken breast in Ritz crackers, and I'll use that instead of a whole egg so I don't waste any of it. But yeah, I'll show you when I start to add the egg yolks. Alright, so it's slightly thickened, and I'm just going to pour these in. I don't really... I'm not that concerned, honestly, about them forming like curdles or anything. If you are, use a larger container, put some of the hot milk into that, and that's called tempering, and then put it back in here. Or at the end, you can pass it through a strainer. But if you just get them in there pretty quick and then start whisking, you should be okay. And you can see it starts to thicken up even faster once those are in there. And I'll show you when I add the butter and lemon juice. Okay. Oh, I'm going to squeeze the lemon juice in there. And it doesn't call for it, but I just like a little bit of vanilla in there anyways. We got that. I'll put the butter in. I forgot I did put the lemon zest in before as well. And let me just squeeze that lemon juice quick. Okay, I did only put the juice of 1 lemon because I don't want this to get too thin, because then it's going to be more of a soup as opposed to a custard or pudding. So the vanilla and the juice go at the end so it doesn't cook off the flavor. The butter makes it glossy and just gives it a nice texture. And I cooked the zest in it to get the flavor and the oils out of the zest. So you can let this sit here. You could put it in a container. You could put it in like 4 mason jars. If you leave it sit in this, I would let it cool down a little and put a plastic wrap touching the pudding, so because it's going to form a skin that you would want to, you don't really want that. So yeah, that's how I make lemon pudding. So here are the mason jars of the lemon curd pudding. And over here, I have the 3 egg whites, and I put about a tablespoon of water. I crushed up, these aren't Ritz crackers. They're, I forget, Late July brand, I believe, or Field Day, one of the two. But anyways, I think I crushed up too many, but it is what it is. I'm going to get my chicken breast, dunk it in here, and then get it going in my air fryer. All right, so they're both in there. I think they're still a little frozen, honestly. I had them in the fridge since late yesterday. But, oh well. All right, so I'm gonna put them in here, and then the crumbs, and then you can season them any way you like. I don't have any onion powder or garlic powder, otherwise I would definitely use that. I ran out of that. I did get to put in this has salt, onion powder, turmeric, and garlic powder, so maybe I'll just use some of this. I did get to put in a Walmart grocery pickup. I was able to get a spot, so I thought that would be good. So the nice thing about that is you just have to wait until you can find one, and it does take a while. I think it was like 5 o'clock in the morning when I was able to get one, and I didn't have everything I wanted in my cart, but I did have $30 worth. So I just placed the order, and then you can keep adding to it up to a certain point. So that's what I did. It won't be until this coming Friday. I think between 7 and 8 I was able to get, which works out for me because I'm out of work at 5. So you just take this. You don't have to dust off the excess. It's not like it's breadcrumbs. They're pretty tasty. And let's see, get that right in the air fryer, and then I'll do the second one. All right, so then I'm gonna put this in probably 365. Mine, I believe, are a little bit frozen still, so I'm thinking they're probably gonna take, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes. Something like that. But I'll let you know how long they take. So to go with the chicken, I'm going to make a kale cream sauce and noodles. I'm going to use capellini because that's what we happen to have. But you can use fettuccine, you can use penne, you can use whatever. So I have the water going for the capellini, and then I have an onion over here. Now I'm only using the onion because I had this left over, and it's a half of a very small onion, so you can use it or not. And then I had 2 small bags of frozen kale that I'm going to be using. You can also use fresh spinach or fresh kale, but this is just what we happen to have left over. I would also add garlic. Oh, I have frozen garlic, so I'm going to add that to it. And I'm just going to saute these until they're translucent. I'll cook the pasta according to the directions. And I'm going to add a half a block of cream cheese to the kale and a little bit of cream and Parmesan, and that's it. So I did put the 2 things of frozen garlic in here, and then I put the 2 bags of kale that I defrosted, and I left in a strainer to get rid of all the excess water so it won't be soupy. And then I'm just going to let this sit in here for a little. It's on medium. You can season it up any way you like. I'm probably just going to use some mushroom seasoning. And I'm going to put in the half a block of cream cheese, and after we'll put a little bit of cream in it. Because I want it to be a little bit saucy so it'll cover the noodles as well. Not just like a cream type spinach, but a little bit saucier. Alright, I added a little bit of cream. I'm going to add a little bit more. I have this in really low. Now, this is a lot of kale. So when we do like a pasta, we tend to do a lot of vegetables in it. So I'm using a lot more, my point is I'm using a lot more kale compared to the noodles. So if you wanted it to be more of a pasta dish, I would use a lot more pasta than what we're using. But yeah, so I try to put more green vegetables in with the pasta. That's my point. But you just do it however you like it. If you like more pasta, do it however you like. That's all. Okay, so here's my point. Like, that's just a little bit of pasta with a lot of noodles. Now, I pulled this off al dente because the pasta will soak in this cream sauce and it'll finish cooking that way, and it'll take on the flavor of the pasta, of the spinach or kale and the other stuff. It's not really pretty, I have to say. It's not really pretty, but it's really tasty. So I'm gonna let this sit here for a few minutes. The chicken's almost done. And before I go to serve this, I'll just add some Parmesan cheese to this, and we'll be all set. I'll show you what everything looks like. And there's the chicken and the pasta. So that's what's for dinner. Hey everyone, welcome back to another night of What's for Dinner. Tonight we're going to be making sausage and peppers. And I didn't have any bread, so earlier this morning I made some Italian bread, and I made 2 big loaves like this. I gave one to my mother, and then I tried to make 2 small hoagie rolls, but they came out kind of big, but they'll do. Just cut them. And we're gonna grill the sausage on the grill. I just got this cheese and garlic sausage. I'm not a huge fan of sausage, so I'll probably just put a very little bit in my sandwich. And then I'm using these peppers. They're called long sweet peppers, and I'll show you what they look like. I got these at Walmart. They're a little bit, they're kind of expensive. You get 6 of these size peppers, red, yellow, orange. But I've heard that they're really good, so I figured we would give them a try. And then I had my grocery order pickup. I was out of, they didn't have a lot of stuff, so I only have this really tiny onion. And then we're going to use some crushed tomatoes. Now, some people don't like any tomato in their sausage and peppers, and that's fine. I'm also going to saute a yellow squash on the side. Then we'll cut the roll, put the sausage, put the peppers and sauce, and some mozzarella, bake it in the oven. So I'm just going to get the onion and the peppers cooking, and the zucchini, or the yellow squash. And if you look, these peppers are really nice when you cut into them. There's really no seeds. So I'm just going to cut them that long. Oops. And probably strips like this. I'm going to do the same with the onions. But like I said, I have a small amount of onions, but You can put as much onions as you want. Alright, so once these get sauteing, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so we have the sausage going on the grill. You could fry it too. But like I said, I don't like a lot of sausage, so we're doing it that way. This is what the peppers look like. This is 5 of the peppers. I kept one and we're going to give it to Kane or Puppy for a treat. I kind of burnt the onions a little bit, but whatever. So salt, pepper, flavor however you want to flavor these. I would wait a little while if you're using fresh garlic. I don't have any, otherwise I would, but I will use garlic powder more towards when I put the sauce in. And of course, cook these as long as you want, like to the doneness. How do you want them, softer or harder, firmer, however you want them. My guess is these are probably going to take 10 minutes. Oh, I do have garlic. It's not fresh, but it's frozen. That'll still work good though. See, husbands are good for something. I'm kidding. I hope people can take a joke. Yeah. I'm going to lower this a little to probably medium heat. Alright, I'm going to let this go for maybe 8 to 10 minutes. And then we'll add the tomatoes, and that's about it. Toast the bread, do what we gotta do. Okay, so I took this off of the heat a little bit because you know how when you put sauce products in a hot thing, this splatters up at you. I wanted to see what was in this. Everywhere. So you just gotta be a little careful of that. I'm probably gonna add a little bit of water to this. And make a mess like always. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of water in my jar. Flip it around, get all of it off. Throw it everywhere. That much. And then I'm just going to leave this on low until everything else is ready. So of course you can eat this over pasta. You can eat it just as is. You don't have to eat it with anything else. You could put it, what did I say, pasta. You could eat it with rice. You could do it on sandwiches like we're going to do. I'm just going to let this sit over low. The yellow squash is going. And then, like I said, I'm going to put it in the buns, put it in the oven, melt some cheese, and I will insert a picture of what it looks like once it's all done. Hey everyone, welcome back to another night of What's for Dinner. Today I'm getting started really early because I'm going to be making some bread. We're going to be making turkey sandwiches. So I'm going to be making a molasses oatmeal bread, and I'll leave the link down below. Now I'm only halving the recipe, so the exact measurements, I'll leave the link. So that's for 2 loaves of bread, and I only want to make 1. Because we don't like to have a lot of extra bread around the house. So, I have 1 cup of boiling water, a 1/2 cup of quick cooking oats, and it says they have to be quick cooking. I'm going to let that sit in a bowl. And in the meantime, I'm going to get the rest of the stuff together, which will be yeast, warm water, molasses, oil, salt, flour. So the measurements, like I said, I'm only making 1 loaf, so the measurements I do is half of the recipe. So I just don't want you to get confused. So I have a 1/4 cup of warm water. You want it to be between 110 and 115 degrees, and that is important. I'm going to use a half a package of yeast, but I have this huge bag here. So 1 packet of yeast is 2 1/4 teaspoons. So I'm going to do 1 1/8 teaspoons of yeast. All right, and I'm going to let that dissolve in there for a few minutes. Okay, just left that in there for a minute, like 2-3 minutes. And to that, we're going to add a 1/4 cup of molasses. I just got this at Walmart. And a little trick would be to spray this cup before you pour the molasses in, but I just thought of it now. So, whoa. It is what it is, right? The reason I looked for a recipe like this is because I had made those baked beans, which call for molasses. And I'm like, what am I going to do with the rest of this? And I wanted to make these turkey club sandwiches. But I don't know. I didn't want them to just be on plain white bread. So we need 1 1/2 teaspoons of oil. I know, it's close enough. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. This is the 1/4 teaspoon, so I'm putting 2. All right. Now to this, we're going to start adding our flour. Oh, hang on. Okay, I rubbed my arm on the molasses, so I wanted to clean the top and get it put away. All right, so we're going to start with half of the flour. So that's a 1/2 cup. One cup. 1 1/2. All right, we'll start mixing that. We'll just get that mixing around for a few minutes. Almost forgot my oats. You want to check that those are down to 110 to 115 degrees. Otherwise, it'll kill the yeast if it's too hot. I just use a meat thermometer for it. You can use a candy thermometer as well. All right, so you just want to beat that until it's smooth, like so. And then you're going to start adding the remaining amount of flour to this. So I'm just going to do it a 1/2 cup at a time. And you want to add the flour until it forms a soft dough. So in total, I'm going to be using 3 cups to 3 1/4 cups. So you just want to check it and see. Okay, and at this point, now that it's soft, I added a total of 3 cups. I'm not going to add any more flour, and I'm going to leave this to knead 6 to 8 minutes. So I'm going to set a timer for that, and then I'll come back after this. I'm going to do it for 7. Just go right in the middle. All right, so this is what it's going to look like after 6 to 7 minutes. Or what did I say? 6 to 8 minutes, that's right. I did it for 7. Oops, sorry. All right, so I can't get this off. So that's what the dough looks like. Very nice. So at this point, it's really nice and soft. We're going to let this rise anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half. I have a proof setting on my oven because my house is not warm. Even though it's May, and my heat is still going on, and we keep our heat at like 64 degrees. Anyways, I'm going to put this in the oven for an hour, hour and a half on the proof setting. You could just put it in a warm area, cover it, let it rise. Then after it's risen, we will punch it down, put it in a loaf pan, and let it rise for another hour. So this is the first rise. I will see you back then after that. All right, so I have my loaf pan here sprayed down. Here's our bread dough. And I'm going to take this out. And put it into my pan. And yes, my hands are clean. And just smush it in. All right, so I'm going to let this rise again for another hour. Then I'm just going to take some melted butter, put that on top, bake it at 350 degrees for 40 to 45 minutes. And then I'll show you what it looks like. And then I have a turkey breast I'm going to roast. And I have some leftover bacon from the other day. And we'll make some sandwiches. Okay, so my oven is preheating to 350 degrees. The bread has done rising. And I think we're actually going to change our mind and do tuna melts. The turkey breast didn't quite finish defrosting in the fridge, so I will make that at a later time. But who knows? Everything changes like minute by minute. What can I tell you? All right, so this is again going to be for later, but I want to cook it now because I want the bread all set and ready to go. So we will see later what we are going to do. So like I said, this is going to go in for 40 to 45 minutes. Then I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. I'll probably just put a picture in because I'll show it to you again later when we make our sandwiches. Hey everyone, welcome back to another night of What's for Dinner, and tonight we're starting out with dessert. We don't usually do dessert, but when we have Sunday dinner we do. And right here I just made an instant pudding. This one's banana cream. You can use any flavor that you want, but I think it's cute served in these little mason jars. So I'm going to scoop some in each jar. Okay, so I split it amongst the four of them, and now I have a banana, and that banana cream pudding tastes like real bananas. It's really good. And I'm just going to cut banana in each one. Maraschino cherries would have been nice in this, but I forgot. I didn't think to get them. All right, so I'm going to put banana on each one. All right, and to the top of that, you just add some either homemade whipped cream, whipped topping, the stuff in the spray, whatever you want. I like the Cool Whip Extra Creamy because it is made with real cream, and they had it available at the store, and that's always important. So put a nice big, dollop on each one, make a mess. I always make a mess when I cook. And then this is optional. Like I said, you could put the cherry on there. That would be really cute. But we have some of these Annie's Bunny Grahams. We don't eat these too much. They came in like I just crushed them up in here. And put that on top. You could put Oreos. You could put nothing. You could put graham crackers. Whatever you want. And I still say a cherry would look good on this. But yeah. Alright, so that's dessert. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another night of What's for Dinner. Today is Sunday dinner. I have a whole video on how I do Instant Pot baked beans, so we have that. And I'm going to be finishing up the mashed sweet potatoes. I leave them whole, threw them in the Instant Pot with 1 cup of water for 20 minutes. And then over here is our glazed ham, and I have a whole other video on how I brine this ham, turn it from a pork shoulder into an actual ham, and then bake it in the oven. I'll insert a picture of what our plates look like, but that's what's for dinner. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up so I know to make more of them. Hit subscribe and share, and I'll talk to y'all next time. Bye.